Welcome in. Week 10 recap, Week 11 preview. It is 9 a.m. Sunday, rainy Los Angeles. I'm happy to be here with you guys for another week, up against the clock to try and get this preview out to you guys. So going to jump right into it. So let's start with recapping Week 10, take a look at what went down. It was actually a really predictable week. So first one, here we go. Dankies, Studio City, 5-4 teams. Studio City all-time, 4-0. Dankies took this one convincingly. 42-point win, 137-95. First week, the Dankies are not playing the Kraken with Lamar back, and they picked up the W. Studio City, again, their first loss to them. Snap a 4-game winning streak against the Dankies. Little fun fact, Alec Pierce over the last 4 weeks, 35 targets. Michael Pittman over that same period, 32 targets. So another nice feather in the cap there for Dankies. Up next, Jabronis 3-6 fighting Capybaras 5-4. The Capybaras come in and take this one 136-124. They snap a 3-game losing streak against the Jabronis, send them to a second straight loss. Goff playing like a man possessed. Huge improvement for this team with Dan Campbell calling plays. London also has been going nuts. Falcons receivers through 10 weeks. London 53 receptions on 85 targets, 691 yards, 6 touchdowns. All other Falcons wide receivers, less targets, less receptions, 407 yards, and no touchdowns. And just to highlight something as well, Goff getting the start, there was a little bit of a Fields-Goff controversy to kick off the season. Who was going to start? The number of times a Jets quarterback failed to net 50 passing yards in a game, and the number of starts they had in that time, pretty insane. Sanchez did it 1 time in 62 starts. Geno Smith 3 times in 30 starts. Sam Darnold 1 time in 38 starts. Justin Fields 4 times in 8 starts. So Goff is the man moving forward for the Capybaras. Lots of blame to go around in South LA for this loss, including Josh Allen not going full Josh Allen and A.J. Brown remaining in that limbo territory of not really producing. Up next, Golden Pipes 4-5, Mr. I 3-6. This one was an easy one. The prediction was Mr. I, and that was what came true. 148-66 was the total. 66 points on By-Mageddon for the Pipes. Just not even really a contest. Mr. I snaps a 2-game losing streak with a nice week here, averaging 141.78 points per game. Very respectable. This could be the turning point for them. Up next, Bags 5-4. Miami 6-3. The prediction was Miami, and the Bags came out and shocked the world. 171-128. Massive win for the Bags here, who are now clustered at 6-4 at the top of the league behind the Kraken. They snap a 3-game skid. They needed this one badly. Miami drops to 6-4. Seats getting hot in Miami. They've now dropped 3 in a row. Nix is a big part of that. On throws over 10 yards, he has an off-target rate of 39%, which is last among QBs. And then when he has a clean pocket, he's still off target 37% of the time, which is also last. So as Nix goes, maybe so does Miami. Up next, the Kraken 7-2 taking on the Turkeys. 151 points posted by the Turkeys, but 206 by the Kraken. They've now won 3 straight versus the Turkeys. DJ Moore posted at 0, and they still managed to break 200. And John Taylor's stats continue to amaze on the season. Kraken have won 3 in a row and moved to a very impressive 8-2, while the Turkeys dropped their 6th straight, starting A-Raj, and then watching him outscore Jordan Love on the bench when he only dropped 7 is peak depression nightmare fuel. Up next, Bay State 4-5, taking on the Wolfpack, also 4-5. The prediction was the Wolfpack. The result was the Wolfpack. 143-84 is the final. Wolfpack now 2 wins in a row, 3 of the last 4, including 2 league-high scores. Dart stepped in to the starting role for the first time, played well, and then promptly concussed himself and left the game. Darnold turned into a pumpkin for Bay State. Trey Henderson on the bench with 28. Wouldn't have turned the tide in this blowout, but bodes well moving forward as he and RJ Harvey, now in the lead role in Denver, could be nice. That does it for the Week 10 preview. Quick update on the playoff odds after Week 10. So 3-win teams, 4-win teams, about 20% odds to make the playoffs. 5 and 6 win teams, 66% odds to make the playoffs. 7 and 8 win teams, of which there are not many, 95% chance. Still lots of opportunity there for people to make the playoffs. Let's jump right into the Week 11 preview. Tidewater 4 and 6, third in the West, taking on Studio City 5 and 5, second in the East. These teams kind of look similar from a roster construction standpoint. High-level play from the Holmes and others for the Tide, while Studio City is playing through injury after injury. Studio City is going to need Lamb and Herbert to step up and play big this week. Whereas the Pipes, they look deep. Their roster is getting kind of deeper as we play. Shaheed has especially lengthened that roster and made them more dangerous. I'm going to predict that the Pipes take this one. It's going to be a good game, but I think that they have the firepower here to go and win. Up next, Mr. I, 4 and 6, taking on the Yankees, 6 and 4. Yankees first in the West by a game over West Adams. That race is heating up quite a bit. Yankees lost for the first time against Mr. I last time they played, but remained 3 and 1 against them all time. Dave and Mr. I are dangerous. They have the second best all-play record in the league at 65 and 45. That's a stunning stat when you consider they're 4 and 6. JSN and Bijan obviously have been potent. If they get solid returns elsewhere on this roster, they're going to be tough for the Yankees to overcome. Cook obviously has returned to earth a little bit over the last few weeks. They'll need Lamar and Warren and others to do their thing in order to come out. Little fun fact, Joe Flacco averaging 25.5 fantasy points per game as the Bengals QB1. Burrow has never averaged more than 22.5 fantasy points per game in a season. Up next, we've got the Bags, 6 and 4, second in the Midwest, taking on the struggling Turkeys, 3 and 7, last in the East. Turkeys, they need a win badly, and the Bags just went ham last week with 171 points. The Turkeys can point to the fact that after these teams were 6 and 6 against each other all time, they have ripped off 2 straight and would love to get the third this week. This may be the week it turns for the Turkeys. They'll get big production from their wide receivers. In order to do so, the Bags look deep. How deep do they look, though? KW3 and Sharps both on the bench. That is wild that neither of those guys are starting, and just goes to credit how good this roster is. Also, Emeka Egbuka is on pace for 1,278 receiving yards, which would be 8th most all-time by any rookie in the modern era. So it's going to be a tough game for the Turkeys, but I am going with my gut here, saying they're going to pull off the upset. Up next, house divided. The Los Angeles rivalry game here on LaSalle. The Wolfpack, 5 and 5, second in the West, trending up, taking on the Los Angeles Fighting Capybaras, 6 and 4, third place in the loaded Midwest division. The Capybaras, 10 and 8 all time against the Wolfpack. West Adams took the last matchup by 10, however. Goff, CMC, and London playing extremely well. Hurts, Gibbs, and a pretty salty crew of wide receivers are going to have to step up if the Wolfpack have a chance of winning another game. Copies are 52% favorites. I'm backing the Wolfpack to win this one. Bay State, 4 and 6, taking on the Jabronis, 3 and 7, 2 and 2 all time against each other. Not a lot of matchup history. This is a bottom of the league matchup. Bay State has struggled this year, but the Jabronis have actually, even with their 3 and 7 record, have been really hard done. What reflects that is they are 59 and 51 in all play, good for 4th in the league. That says a lot about how good Javi's team has been, but just isn't reflected in the record. They need to make a run right now if they want to get into the playoffs. Bay State is vulnerable. They are dead last in all play at 32 and 78. Really good indicator of where Jeff's team is right now. Adunze and AJ Cutme Brown are 2 big X factors for Javi and the Jabronis. He's going to need them to step up. And in Bay State, does Darnold rebound? RJ Harvey's now the man in Denver. They've also secured the rare Sam Darnold, AJ Barner stack. Congrats to you, Jeff, on that. And finally, Miami, 6 and 4, first in the East, taking on Seattle, 8 and 2, first in the Midwest. This is our game of the week. One game representing the last 3 championships in our league. Miami seemingly slipping while Seattle is growing in strength. Seattle's won 3 straight against Miami and is 5 and 3 all time. Seattle looks loaded. Tough for Miami to get a win here as they seem to be trending the wrong direction. Jefferson just hasn't been up to par this year. BTJ likely out of the lineup. They need Dowdle to step up. Also, Marvin Harrison Jr. just had appendicitis, So he's out indefinitely, which is also just wild. Silver lining is they catch Jonathan Taylor on a bye. That could leave the door open. Kraken rostering 3 quarterbacks, rolling out Matt Stafford as the starter this week, as well as Tez Johnson over DJ Moore. They're going to look to Trey McBride, who has been on fire since Brissett took over as the starter. Huge target share, first in red zone targets, first in end zone targets. That's been a huge help for the Kraken like they need it, but that might be enough if he has a big day today to make up for JT being out and take down Miami. Predicting Seattle to roll to their 9th win here. So that is the Week 11 preview. I hope that you guys all have a great Sunday ahead. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. And we'll talk to you soon from rainy Los Angeles. Bye-bye.